play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombs Nico gonna find Rainer.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. Tonight, we bring you a Division B West matchup between Spooky Ghosts and Lurk Patrol. And I am joined tonight by co-caster extraordinaire and captain of so many teams, Lulu.
I like that intro. Hello.
How you doing tonight, Lulu?
I'm doing great. How about you, Aero?
You know what? It's been a good day. Just finished raiding today, so yeah. I'm excited to see this matchup. It's interesting. We had some interesting times of it today, but our teams are just about ready. So let's zip through a couple of the early intro stuff. Let's cover standings and maps. So Lurk Patrol sitting currently. There's no way that. Oh, I guess they do have 33 points. They played 11 games. That's nuts. All right, well, Lurk Patrol has 22 points. They're tied with Phoenix Rising Onyx currently for second place. Spooky Ghost sitting at 11 points, holding on to that 8th spot. And then our maps here. Spooky Ghosts banned out the Battlefield of Eternity and Sky Temple. Lurk Patrol banned out the Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass. And then our selection here, courtesy of Lurk Patrol, is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now getting onto the draft here, so far we've got the Maiev, the Oriole, the Deathwing, and the ETC bands coming out.
The team who picked second bands, classic Ariel Deathwing.
Yeah, and I even offered to a team that kind of just a little bit of an agreement, just to say, hey, let's just agree that Deathwing and Oriole are just globally banned. Let's just take them off the table, so that whichever of us is second pick, and both of us had the opportunity to be second pick, actually gets the opportunity to ban heroes. Now they declined that, and it went exactly as you would expect. And
I'm actually 0% surprised to hear that they declined that.
I just thought it would be interesting, to pose. Both sides get the same value out of it.
Oh, that was a band. Was that a band Kael'thas skin that he switched off of? I don't know. I liked they had a mecha theme going, and then he was no longer Mecha Kael'thas.
The Cyber Kael'thas? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to see an Alarak and Kael'thas. Now that's a combination that can work really well. And a Medivh can help to prevent that from being fatal.
See, and Medivh and Anduin, they were like mask boys there.
Now I seem to recall that Eric with a K plays a pretty significantly powered Medivh.
Medivh.
Oh, that's interesting. So 7th Ace and Ektar bringing up that if they can get 3 points, they'll have the second place in the division. If they can get 1 point, they'll get third seed. So 1 or 2 points gives them third, 3 points gives them second. We're going to see the Gul'dan being banned out as well. And the Ana. The Gul'dan doesn't get picked on too many maps, but this one and Infernal Shrines are definitely two that he comes up more often than not. because he's got the fast wave clear, enables those fast rotations. That said, Medivh also provides fast rotations, but they do need somebody that can provide that wave clear, because until he's level 20, Medivh just doesn't have any wave clear.
Right. The Ektar special with the Lucio.
True that. And Lucio's really fantastic on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen, because he can get between lanes very quickly. There are a lot of walls for him to ride on, and he can enable his team really well. If he takes Boombox, he can even provide vision over those turn-in points. So I like the Lucio here a lot.
Malthael's another speedy boy.
Yeah, so a lot of fast rotations here. Hanzo is going to struggle a little bit until 4 on the wave clear. Then again, they do have Johanna too, so they will have enough. It just won't quite keep up with Kael'thas, Living Bomb, Flame Strike done. Final pick, FPS Nate gonna pull in the Muradin. So these are the teams. So I'm not gonna fiddle around with votes or anything tonight.
Aero, who's your vote based on the draft?
Man, it's tough. This is a really, like, Lurk Patrol is a strong team, and I feel like they've got a strong draft, but a lot of what they want to do is hindered by the Medivh and Anduin picks.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't.
A lot harder to blow people up.
I don't expect that we'll see Salvation. There are a lot of ways to interrupt it. So I think it's likely that we'll see the Light Bomb, which means that it'll either be most likely Johanna or Malthael. Probably Malthael if I had to guess. Like Malthael goes in, pops his... If he takes Tormented Souls, which I feel like this is going to be a battle of wills between Malthael and Blaze. Because if he takes Tormented Souls, then Light Bomb works really well, along with all the other, like the Condemn and Hanzo's just like, here's a Dragon Arrow, all that stuff. And Last Rites gets countered-ish by Blaze's Bunker, so we'll see.
Yeah, and also they've got a sound barrier from Lucio.
True, which kind of counters the Lost Souls too, or the whatever. Consume Souls is Mephisto's thing. Not Last Rites. Whatever.
Last Rites?
Last Rites is the other thing. Well, let's go ahead and introduce our teams. Let's go with that. You want to start with Lurk Patrol?
Sure. So for Lurk Patrol, they've got FPS Nate on the Muradin, High Def on Blaze, Gunny on the Kael'thas, Ektar on Lucio, and Ace on the Alarak.
All right, and over here for the Spooky Ghosts, we've got Boundrix playing the Hanzo, Calidus on Malthael, Rogoth on Johanna, Little Wolf playing that Anduin, and Medivh going to be played by Eric with a K. So checking our talents here. It's always fun seeing the direction of the Anduin as Medivh getting pulled in there. So we are going to have a Renew coming out for Anduin. And Portal Mastery for the Medivh, so he'll be able to put down portals while he's in the air. He can also control both halves of the portal, which is makes things really easy for getting around a map. We've got the, is it Stim Pack? Neural Stim Pack here for Blaze, giving him that cooldown reduction as well. Mana Addict for Kael'thas. The Smooth Moves here for Lucio. Oh, nice pull onto Medivh. Oh, did I hear a spray? Are we spraying? We are spraying. First blood picked up by Lurk Patrol here, so yeah, all right.
Silver lining, Medivh only had 1 minute to stack before that, so he probably didn't lose a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it. Let's see, we also have Third Wind and the, what is this, Ruthless Momentum. for Alarak, so extra healing and the reduced cooldown on that telekinesis, so gonna have to be really careful about that. Iron Skin upgrade there for Johanna, the hold your ground, having more shields more often. Gonna be really helpful against this CC heavy team. Eric with a K just continuing to walk in a straight line, juking the Stormbolt. And then Hanzo taking target practice. And I think that's the only one that I hadn't covered yet. So there you go. I need to turn chat off. There we go. We're going to see that silence going out onto Hanzo. Leap of Faith going to pull Boundrix over the wall, which was super necessary as that silence locking him down, preventing him from getting the jump. Malthael this time going to get stunned, dodging the Stormbolt. And we've talked about the value of Kael'thas. Like, Kael'thas is a noob killer, but he also just forces you to play differently, even if you're not a noob, right? I mean, if you are a very well balanced team, well coordinated team, you still have to adjust your positioning and behavior to deal with the fact that Kael'thas has living bombs that spread damage. And so
right, even if you're not spreading the bombs, you've got to spread out so you don't spread the bombs.
Exactly. Jet Propulsion catching Malthael because he threw out his shade and might get caught. Wasn't sure if there was another ability there. Is able to make it out, has 15 gems, so that's pretty important for them.
Both teams right now with enough gems to turn in. Everybody's sitting on all of them still.
Yeah, nobody's turned a single gem in. Rotation coming down to clear up the bot lane. This could give the opportunity then for Lurk Patrol to turn some of their gems in. It looks like instead they're going to focus on getting this Bruiser Camp cleaned up in the mid lane. Spooky Ghost not quite getting as much value out of their Bruiser Camp as Lurk Patrol did. But Spooky Ghost does get some of their gems turned in, as so does Lurk Patrol. We're going to see that Sonic Arrow interrupting Muradin. So still pretty close on the gem count and turn in. Really the Malthael, the hoarder of gems here, and both of the frontline tanks for Lurk Patrol, but they're going to get theirs turned in. Johanna eating a few of those abilities with that Iron Skin, so able to make it out just fine. And we see Muradin holding his level 7. He took Thunderburn at 4. So what's he waiting on for 7? I'm not sure.
Also just picked his 7. I don't know if that could be related at all or just coincidence.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, sharpened arrowheads is normally the way you would go with that. Medivh gonna get that protect up just in time. Does still get silenced, but is able to make it through the portal. I'm not actually sure what Muradin's waiting on, what he's looking for here. Johanna getting in a little bit of danger, has the protect. There is the Medivh portal if she wants to take it, get over there by the fort. Living bomb on the fort could spread, is just barely safe there. While Malthael clearing up mid lane and bottom lane, as the third Web Weaver going down, getting about a third or so of the health of that top fort. But the other two lanes pretty healthy still. Just a little bit of tower damage. All right, we see Malthael in the bot lane getting the jet propulsion here. Between these two, trying to push him back. He's got 27 gems, so has to be a little bit careful there. Doesn't want to lose basically half of their gem count. All right, so we did get the give him the axe here, so additional auto attack damage when Muradin does an auto attack damage to somebody that's CC'd. Big rotation coming down onto the Blaze. They get the condemn and the root. Lucio not quite enough to keep the Blaze alive. Kill count now 1-1. And here come the ultimates.
He said Lucio no.
No, I don't think that's what he said. All right, so there's no hesitation. It's not bunker. It's going to be combustion, and it is going to be last rites. So we'll see how this turns out here. Silence going out on Malthael. He did get his gems turned in, so only 4 remaining for Spooky Ghosts. But Lurk Patrol also has a lot of theirs turned in. So Eric with a K gonna drop his portal, get booped away from it, pulled away from it, is able to make it through eventually. And it looks like Murden has about half of the gems for his team. The rest of them pretty well spread out, although Kael'thas has a bunch as well. And Johanna does get enough turned in, so now we'll see the blue web weavers here. Although, oh, Medivh with the leyline seal just in time. That was going to be a dead Guardian of Tearsfall. However, the light bomb there went out, was not enough to protect the Anduin there as the living bomb spread onto Boundrix as Anduin died there. Up in the top lane, though, it's actually Lurk Patrol getting the first fort down in the middle of Spooky Ghost's Webweaver.
Feels good.
If you're Lurk Patrol, it sure does.
Oh, that's true. Feels good, feels bad.
So 30 stacks here for the Raven. And they're going to rotate down, it looks like, try to get what they can out of this bottom web weaver, the only one they have remaining.
Oh. Blaze in danger.
I think Blaze is probably fine. Maybe not.
Nope. Last right said no, he's not.
Rip. Looks like the disengage should be successful. Johanna eating the Stormbolt there for Anduin, so he's able to get out. Here's the setup from the leyline. Can they get anything? There's the light bomb pulling through with the condemn. Ace gonna go ahead and telekinesis away, and the sound barrier is gonna come up, so they might only get the burden. Never mind. Oh no! And can he get him? Oh man! They get the Alarak. Medivh finishes his quest, and Lucio using push off, getting so close in there. And I don't think the team expected him. I think if they had thought for a second that Lucio was gonna dive in amongst the entire team, that Lucio would be dead right now.
Hey! Lucio did manage to beat Spooky Ghost to the turn in there. So he stopped Spooky Ghost from getting the doubles turn in, but maybe? No, Kael'thas is fine. Just kidding.
All right. Chills in chat was saying, oh, let's go Pyro. Johanna gonna get the leap of faith there, but Anduin is in pretty much all of the danger, but can he make it through the portal? He is able to get there. What a great portal there from Medivh as well, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But top lane, under some significant pressure. 2 catapults, got a web weaver, and oh, by the way, also 4 heroes. And I'm really confused by this because Spooky Ghost has highly prioritized 2 lanes that were not even remotely in danger. And now this keep is maybe gonna fall. Probably gonna fall at this point.
Yeah.
Malthael looking to come up behind. There's the portal.
Doesn't get the last wave off.
There's still some catapults though. Leyline came in, didn't have enough to really push with. There's the sound barrier coming out as the light bomb stunning only the one. Eric with a K on the wrong side of history here, juking just barely that silence, but is in grave danger from the Murden chase. Oh, the portal!
Portals.
Now you're thinking with portals as Malthael getting the kill onto Blaze, then the Kael'thas making a triple kill, finding that Alarak as Lucio bailing hardcore, and the Murden gonna go ahead and tap. I fully expect to see a boss combo here. They do have to be a little bit careful. They can't just send one person to do that because of the fact that Murden and Lucio are both up.
That was a very back and forth fight.
Yeah, but it ended up in one direction there.
It's true.
All right. So mid fort goes down. We see the portals coming in. Should be enough to turn. Now the question is, does Muradin stall them out? He's certainly gonna try. He doesn't quite get it. So boss plus web weaver in many cases can end a game, but I don't think that's gonna be the case here. Not with this full wall and fort being up. The boss is already at half health even.
Yeah, but Spooky Ghost did just get their 16s, and Lurk Patrol is a level behind in experience right now. This makes it a little tougher.
All right, Web Weaver's here, and Spooky Ghost's gonna work on mid. They don't even want to fight into the Lurk Patrol team, which, you know, I don't know. I mean, they're 8-2 on kills right now. I feel like they're overall pretty strong, and not fighting with their Web Weaver, you know, might be a long-term problem for them. But I do like this pre-portal here, like setting up so that the team can get out of danger, making it very easy for the team to get out if they were to be rotated on from behind. But at least for now here, this is the last Web Weaver up, and it looks like just going to get the towers down. Probably not going to get too much damage onto the fort. Johanna with the Iron Skin just in time there. No silence for you, Alarak. And there's the disengage call from Spooky Ghost. Playing a really tight game here. As I say that, Boundrick's going to be able to leap out. Was split off from the rest of the team, but Johanna coming down made sure to save the rest of the team there.
Spooky Ghost has enough to turn in again right now, if they can get to it.
And fully 2/3 of that is sitting there on the Medivh. 43 gems on the Raven there. Just a spooky portal. Just a hey, I got friends, and you don't know where they are.
I could bring my team if I wanted.
I'm a big fan of the spray from the Muradin in the bush, so that the spray shows exactly where he is. By the way, just throwing that out there. All right, here they go, trying to get the turn in. There's the ley line. It only hits the blaze. Great timing on that dragon arrow, though. Here comes the light bomb. Only going to hit the Muradin, I think. Khalid is, however, going to go down there. Malthael taken out.
Ooh. Big
Coming
combustion surround the Johanna.
Yeah, Johanna. And Medivh up in the air. Keeping in mind, of course, that Medivh can still drop portals. Even from the air. Although I was going to say, I don't know why he came down.
During that fight, minions took the top keep up there for Lurk Patrol.
Yeah, so you remember that point where I said it might be a bad thing for them that they didn't push over their Web Weaver.
They turned it in. Like,
would
actually
be that moment. Yeah, 100%. They got 10-15 seconds before they've got a front line. All right, Medivh's gonna try to zip around here, get what he can done. They do get the kill onto Alarak, and they don't have leyline just yet, so no way to stop them. Is Muradin going to get caught by the last rites? And now they're looking for Gunny, I think? Oh no, they're going for Ektar. And it looks like Malthael just not quite able to catch up. We'll be able to catch up with that. Oh, do they get the blaze? Can they get both of them? Oh my goodness! Oh, this is so a team wipe, right? Right? Oh, Ektar just barely making out. This fort's still up, though. And so that went from actually not a core call, or not a core death, which I'm a little surprised at, to a quad kill. So, you know, well done, Spooky Ghosts.
Yeah, those were some very spooky portals.
Oh, and by the way, they have enough for turn. What?
Ektar has been so sneaky on this. Every time Spooky Ghost says turn in, he just goes to the other side like, nah, I'm gonna do this first.
I totally got debated there. I was like, all right, and here come the spooky ghost web weavers, and they didn't come.
Never underestimate Nectar.
Yep, doesn't care. He's the only player on the map for Lurk Patrol. Now this is dangerous right here. Level 20.
5v4 right now. 2 Blaze isn't there.
But the web weavers are going in the top, so I mean, if they can survive, then the web weaver poses a grave threat to spooky ghosts. Let's zoom out here so we can catch all this. There's the leyline seal going out, looking for that light bomb coming in. There it is.
Oh.
They get the stun and the kill onto Alarak. Big condemn, spreading some living bomb damage. They're gonna get the last rites out onto Blaze, and Murden gonna jump out. The full disengage from the team, but Spooky Ghost needs to get back and deal with this core, and they're not even backing at all yet. There they go. Anduin, now Malthael, but their #1 damage is Hanzo, and he's got an Ekdar chasing him. All right, so Malthael's gonna clear out the catapults as they get 2%. Down in the bot lane, though, we've got a 3v3. Anduin is going to make it back, so here comes some healing. And Sound Barrier used. Still a Medivh, but he doesn't have a whole lot of health. He's going to come down, try to gather some of that healing from the Anduin. Malthael playing goalie back there. And we're going to get another turn in here. But the lanes are just so pushed up.
Yeah, the web weavers for Lurk Patrol got the mid keep there also.
Sure did, because of that long duration fight.
Maybe that's why they rushed in, just trying to stall them out.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if they just wanted to try to keep them busy and keep that web weaver pushing in the top lane primarily.
20 is so close for Lurk Patrol. There we go.
It is. Web Weaver coming, it's getting hit by the double flame strikes, so taking a pretty significant chunk of damage there. And Spooky Ghost's unwilling to go too close in on this, even though the Web Weaver's there taking the tower shots. Keep is now down, so are we gonna see anything? We've got the Blessed Shield going out. Here comes the jet propulsion. Got interrupted, I think. There's combustion. By the way, Leyline Seal. Here comes the Light Bomb, a little bit off on the timing. Condemn coming up. Last Right's gonna secure the kill onto Muradin. And Malthael sticking on the backline here. Oh, just gets silenced. Blaze, however, goes down to the Medivh. Can Kalidas make it out? But they don't really have a lot of siege on their team here, so this still isn't really a guarantee that they can move forward with a core call here. Ekdar gonna boop the living bomb closer to the team. Malthael has to be super careful here. With 2 lanes down now, that does help them a bit, although again, one of those is equal with catapults. Khalid is all by himself. Now the rewind on Ace. And counter-strike value. Rogoth getting super low here. Doesn't have indestructible either. But there they go. They pop off, get the double kill. And meanwhile, all the while, just poking away at that core. So Spooky Ghost starts off taking game #1.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really notice the core health till it was about like 20% there for Lurk Patrol. It's just, you know, watching the fight and like, oh, by the way, they're about to lose. Ugh.
Yep.
It was a very close game.
I'm on a delay, right? Let me make sure that I'm on a delay. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I was pretty sure that I put the delay on.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, that was an exciting game. What'd you think about that, Lulu?
It was very exciting, very back and forth.
I didn't check to see how many... I was going to, and then the game was over. I didn't check to see how many stacks of last rites the Malthael had, but it had to be... I mean, quite a bit. It looked like it was like 5 or 6 that I recall seeing. I don't suppose you happen to check that.
No.
Okay.
I don't know how Malthael.
Oh, okay. That's okay. You're our resident support expert.
Yes. Sure, we'll go with that.
So, speaking as a support expert, any idea how I got a healer quest for the event quest?
Okay.
I did not play a healer for, I don't know, 15 games. Somewhere in there, I got this healer quest. Somehow, it said I've completed 1 of 2. Any ideas? I didn't play a healer or support for this quest.
Just like the daily quest?
No, the event quest. The dailies you can do like unranked or something and it'll count.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But not for the event quest. Event quest is different.
Wait, what does the event quest say?
It specifically says... Do I have it? No, I don't have it anymore. It specifically says win 2 games with a support or a healer, or get like combat medic or MVP or anything like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually MVP's on the list. Maybe you just played a hero you were trash at and got MVP.
So the problem with that thinking is that if you get MVP, you complete the quest. You don't get 1 of 2. That's where this all gets a little crazy.
One of the titles somehow.
All of those titles complete the quest though. It's you don't need to get the title twice. You just get the title once. For those quests.
You're really putting me on the spot here because I can't see the words to know for sure what we're talking about.
Well, what event quest do you have?
Achieve 6 multi-kills.
That's what I have too. So yeah, that wouldn't work. But such is life.
I mean, maybe you just like had self-heals gradually, very slowly.
But self-heals doesn't count for
healer. It's not an amount, it's just...
Right, exactly. It's just win as a healer or support.
I don't know, man. You broke the game.
I appear to have broken the game.
Congratulations.
Seems about right. I seem to find a lot of bugs and glitches anyways. Oh, by the way, we know where we're going. We're going to Infernal Shrines. Let's see.
And it looks like it was picked by Lurk Patrol.
Infernal Shrines. Was it really? Wow.
That's how it's currently set up.
Indeed, it is how it is currently set up. So I wonder which hero they're going to let through. Are they going to let through the Oriole or are they going to let through the Deathwing?
I would let through Deathwing or Oriole.
What'd you say?
I said I would let through Deathwing over Oriole. Rez is still broken.
I tend to agree with that. Because I don't see, like chat's talking about banning out the Medivh, which I tend to agree with.
By chat, you mean Ace and Eric with a K that are both in this match?
And also, I just fizzed.
Yes.
So, there you go. So, I agree with that. I mean, and in all seriousness, I mean, I mentioned it in the drafts. Eric with a K has shown a particular aptitude for Medivh, so it's not a big surprise.
Maybe the problem is that Lurk Patrol doesn't have portrait synergy.
I was gonna wait until we got into the loading screen for that. But that is true. That is true. Spooky Ghosts, 100% on. They got it.
Oh wait,
Did you see Ektars?
Ektar, do you have a sheep because you're Ektar of the Wooloos? If you're not watching now, I know you're gonna watch this later. I didn't notice that before. Ektar gets a pass. The rest, I don't know what's going on with all of you. That would have gotten the 51% they needed. All the catapults would have done more damage if they had the portrait synergy, but they didn't, and so that's what happens, Aero. Yeah. Gotta have that synergy.
That's true. Bonus damage when you have portrait synergy. It's written in the rules.
Yeah. It is, for sure. Don't look for yourself, just blindly trust that I'm telling you the truth.
Exactly. All right, well, absolutely nobody is saying anything whatsoever, so just going to take a quick commercial break while we wait and see what's going on here. BRB.
Hey, y'all out there. If you're gonna get through the summer, you need stamina. You need strength. You need Darkest Finley's Bust Your Workout. You want a beach buddy for the first time in your timid little life? Well, I got the toughest fitness program in the multiverse. But you cannot argue with results. I guarantee I can turn anybody into a rock-solid hero!
Looks like you need a timeout.
Darkest Finley, Bust Your and Darkest Finley are not responsible for damage inflicted by cannonballs, ghost pirates, enemy minions, garden terrors, web weavers, dragon knights, or immortals. Please consult a sport class to determine if Bust Your is right for you. All sales final. As I was saying, I can transform any... Now listen, you know none of this is legally binding, right? Hell, it's about summertime. There is much for us to settle.
And we're back. Welcome everybody back to the Infernal Shrines. Going into game number 2 between Spooky Ghosts and Lurk Patrol. We did see game number 1 there. Spooky Ghosts victorious on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Spooky Ghosts win a spooky map. Checks out.
There you go.
It's a good thing this isn't Cursed Hollow, or else Lurk Patrol would... Oof, that'd be a tough one. They have a type advantage on that map.
Yes. It's almost like getting a free hero.
Yes.
So let's see. What did that point do for Spooky Ghosts? Absolutely nothing.
It gave them one more point.
It sure did.
Aero.
If they can get a 2-0 victory, though, that will tie them up with Roll One Esports and Who Knows Gaming.
So that was an insta Ario ban.
Yeah, you kind of expect it. I'm gonna cough. Pardon me. Okay. So we saw ETC banned last game. Okay.
And here comes the Medivh. Right? Or was Ace just like messing with our heads? Ah, okay. There it is. As was foretold, the Guardian not returning in this game.
Towers of Doom is a pretty spooky map. Good point. Good point. Gravekeeper and the Ravenlord. Ektar, I'm the healer. Nobody cares what I draft. All right, Johanna gonna be the first pick here. All right, so last time it was Alarak and Kael'thas at the beginning here. Kael'thas can still get a lot of value here. In fact, possibly more value here. But it's going to be Hanzo and Lurk. Kind of daring Spooky Ghosts to pick up that Deathwing now. Oh, they subbed in Harnock. Let's see. So Ace, no high def. And Ana, who was banned out last game, gonna make it into this one here, along with that Gul'dan. And we talked a little bit about Gul'dan and how this was one of the other maps that he was likely to see play. Name. We're individuals who play under the same name. Okay, fair enough. Malthael gonna be the third and final ban here for Lurk Patrol.
Shout out to BMed in the chat saying Mareep over Wooloo. That is accurate. Sorry, Ektar.
Okay.
You really gotta get caught up on this whole sheep debate at some point, Aero. This is going on almost 2 full seasons now.
And the Diablo ban. Diablo gets a lot of value here, so that's a good ban. Could really set up some plays, charging it onto, I don't know, say an Ana, slamming her into a wall.
Yeah.
She's old. She doesn't like being thrown against the wall like that.
She's old.
I actually have no idea how old Ana actually is.
I really like that Garrosh skin. Oh look, Ektar's on Lucio. Oh, this is my surprised face.
Yep. This is another
I
map.
foresee more boops in the future.
This is another map where you can get around swiftly. Yep. I had a fun combo earlier today that I haven't gotten to play before. I was playing Ariel with a Tyrael, and it turns out that Holy Ground acts as a wall as well. So knocking people into Holy Ground, fun times. Gonna get a Greymane into the Haka, and there's that Kael'thas. I'm gonna guess that Kael'thas is gonna get swapped. Could be wrong. They are definitely swapping heroes.
Okay, I was gonna say.
They're
Ace was
definitely
on
swapping
Garrosh?
All right, maybe not.
No, they
maybe
were
not
just trying to
swap.
mess with your head.
I really thought that they were gonna swap. I mean, Gunny has like a level 100-something Kael'thas, so I kind of thought that was the direction.
The exact same Kael'thas skin too.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Spooky Ghost needs to do an all-ghost team. Checks out.
An all ghost team. Who
Yeah,
could
so
you?
like Hanzo
Leoric?
has a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Falstad has a ghost.
Tyrael can die and be a ghost.
I don't think he's a ghost. All right,
He's an ghost.
let's get our teams introduced.
Lurk Patrol showing off the size of their taunts.
They're not very big taunts. But continue.
Okay, so for Lurk Patrol, they've got Harnock coming in on the Leoric, FPS Nate on Garrosh, Gunny on Hanzo, Ektar on the Lucio, and Ace on Kael'thas.
And for Spooky Ghosts, we've got Boundrix on the Greymane, Rogoth playing Johanna, Calidus on the Gul'dan, Little Wolf on Ana, and Eric with a K gonna be playing the Dahaka. The throw onto Johanna, she's got Unstoppable, she doesn't even care a little bit. Dahaka pulling the Garrosh in there, doesn't have the Unstoppable until level 4, assuming he even goes into it. I do expect we'll see that though. I mean, there's a fair amount of CC potential coming out on the side of Spooky Ghosts, so not having that I feel like would be a little bit of a challenge.
Convection Kael'thas, by the way.
What division is this?
Also, insider knowledge coming from Ektar. Says, but Ace has a much lower Hanzo.
Yeah, but he also has a much lower Kael'thas. His Kael'thas is between 15 and 25 based on the size of his taunt. Just saying. Like, how much lower is his Hanzo? But that's fine. I mean, if this is the way that they go, if this is the balance for the team, then by all means, play what works for your strengths and take advantage of it. We got the Siege Camp in the mid lane being picked up here by Spooky Ghosts, while Lurk Patrol works on theirs on the right side here of your screen. Up in the top, we have Dahaka versus Leoric. No healing for you, says Eric with a K, as he burrows out of that life drain.
Spooky Ghost for going for the Spooky Camp bottom. And they get uncontested.
And so far, Spooky Ghosts are in favor of the camps here, getting both of the camps, including that neutral camp, and just slightly behind on the XP, but that's because they didn't have that mid wave picked up yet. Looks like it's going to be the same for bottom here. They'll be rotating down to get that soon. But it looks like instead, Gul'dan and Ana going to head up to the Shaman camp up top.
We're 2 of 20 on Convection. He's almost there.
Oh, yeah. But on these points, I mean, it is a little bit easier to get the Flame Strike when you're battling over the Shrine Defenders.
Oh, definitely. And it's also something when, you know, there is a big team fight breaking out over a central point that it's a lot easier to be focusing on other things and not the Flame Strike at your feet.
Exactly. So we do have the Indomitable, so Garrosh does have the Unstoppable. Also going into the Mana Tap, Spell Infusions is 7. So Mana Tap for Kael'thas, giving him that extra mana return anytime he uses his... I don't even remember what those are called. Anyways, his D.
The green swirlies.
Yeah. Verdant Spheres, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, you knew
Did you
that.
look that up?
Of course I did.
Okay. Green swirlies, verdant spheres. Same thing.
Alright, so 14 to 21 so far. And neither team level 7 just yet. The drag going out onto Ace, but Dahaka getting thrown away. Rogoth taking a bunch of damage here as Dahaka looking for the Leoric. Can't quite get him though. And Lucio charging along, tempting Dahaka, saying, go ahead, try it. Try to drag me. But the Frozen Punisher is going to go over here to Lurk Patrol.
And they've also still got a camp pushing in the top lane as well.
Gonna get the leap over the wall as Irons can use to keep Johanna from getting stunned and rooted there. Dahaka's gonna try to take care of that camp up top with the Leoric. And Punisher's gonna go down, even though it's a Frozen Punisher, it's gonna go down before the second wall is even, or second tower is down.
Yeah, they did have Ace go down there to the bot lane, so they were only pushing as 3 there.
Getting a slight XP lead out of that, though. Currently about maybe a quarter of a level. Garrosh coming in by himself. Gonna get himself another Groundbreaker stack. So we do have the reverse amp for Lucio. So he's gonna help slow down the team or provide a little bit of damage. Wizened Duelist for the Greymane. So Greymane needs to stay alive or he loses a bunch of effectiveness. And that's kind of that is a bold talent choice to take into a Garrosh. And again, we've got a lot of high risk, high reward talents here, right?
4 stacks on Convection.
I mean, that's twice as much as the last time we looked.
That's true.
Also, I do like that Garrosh's chair the folding chair that he carries around has the horde symbol on it.
I didn't even see that. That's incredible. You can tell I play Garrosh.
The seat actually moves, like it swings in and out. That's cool.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, look, Hanzo is a ghost.
He is.
He's undead.
He's not spooky, though. Only spooky ghosts can be spooky.
Sure.
Also, we've got FPS Nate on the Garrosh here. But where do you think MOBA Nate is? Shouldn't he be the one here?
So I'm going to take sign-ups for Co-caster if there's a game number 3. In case anybody's interested, Garrosh is going to get the drag. The sound barrier is going to come out, keeping him alive, along with the healing burst, amping it up from Lucio. Garrosh going to throw the Dahaka. The taunt coming out as well, but Dahaka's pretty well okay. Massive fear here. The Lurk going to fall. The drag going out onto Garrosh. Can they finish it? They do. And Greymane looking for more, gets in, looking for Ektar, can't quite get there, and Ektar says, haha, I'm coming after you, buddy boy. And might get him, does in fact get him. Ektar deep in here, surrounded by, well, I guess not surrounded by blue.
That was all part of the strategy, Aero. Excuse you.
Well, Kael'thas now sitting at 13 stacks as he gets the kill onto the Dahaka.
Nice. We've got so many stacking level 1 quests. I just saw that. Half of this game has a stacking level 1. Well, maybe not quests, but stacks. Stacks on stacks on stacks.
Yup. Alright, well, Lurk Patrol gets on to the point first. And they are nearly halfway done. Dahaka's not here, but he should have a burrow available. There he comes. Team is going to hear that call, and here comes Dahaka. Gets booped away, so he's not able to get the drag that he was looking for. Now gets it onto the Lurk, who can walk away, so he's fine. The Condemn coming out. There's the silence onto Garrosh. Sound barrier going to be used, as is the Entomb. And Eric with a K gonna try to get away here. Has almost no health. Might be able to make it out just barely, it looks like.
Ooh, that last shot from Ana, I think, saved him.
So only 12 picked up there by Spooky Ghost. 21 so far, 23 rather, for Lurk Patrol. And with the tap, we got the team coming back in. Johanna right up in the team. We get the Horrify coming out as well as the drag, though. Hanzo gonna get that arrow. Burrow used just in time. They get the Lucio. Actually, the minions get the Lucio, but Dahaka falling as well. Johanna and Gul'dan in
FPS Nate, no!
big danger, but Greymane getting the kill onto Garrosh. But the Punisher is secured for Lurk Patrol. So 1 kill for 2, but ultimately getting that Punisher.
Ace is also at 19 stacks now on his Convection, by the way.
Well, this is the time for him to die.
So so he's really sped up his average of how often he was getting those stacks.
That's true. 4 by
He's
level
just...
9, and then 15 by level 13. So
He's just got to stay alive for that one more. This is the
And-
most stressful time of any stacking quest like that. Like I just need one more, guys. That's all.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I want to see him die.
Oh, Dahaka? That's a danger bush. Oh, especially when there's an Ektar and a Garrosh with Taunt.
Goodbye,
But,
Eric with a K.
It was too quick, and Ace did not get his stack from that, so he is still in Dangerland also.
Gul'dan having to pull back here. Johanna able to zone enough to keep Gul'dan alive. But still no convection.
I thought for sure he was gonna get in there.
He's looking for it. He's looking for it. Is he gonna get it here? Up. Nope. He went for the wrong target. He went for the 2 at the well. Did get the well though. Ultimately, they got the well out of that.
Yeah, that was strategic. That
I think I would have
miss.
prioritized the player though. Like the well's great, but not losing your quest stacks would have been also great. So let's see, who is Hanzo missing? We'll come back to that. Drag gonna go out onto Lucio. He gets thrown away though. FPS Nate getting low. Blessed Shield coming out. Silence going out onto the Garrosh, and Greymane gonna get the kill onto both Lucio and Garrosh.
But more importantly, Ace got convection done. GG, Lurk Patrol wins now. That's how that quest
Aw.
works, right?
I think so, yeah. Convection's such a bait talent too, because you do get a little bit more damage, so there is that, but you lose so much potential survivability.
Just don't die, Aero.
Yes.
That's all you have to do with convection.
So Johanna's now tanking the fort shots, but it's gonna go down anyway. Rodney coming in with the Keck. I don't remember what that was for. That was something earlier.
I'm pretty sure that was for my sweet joke about
I don't think
MOBA
it
Nate.
was.
It's very funny because I'm a very funny person, Aero.
Yeah. Alright, so Shaman gonna be picked up here by the Spooky Ghosts, trying to get that map pressure going out while they are on the control point here. Eric with a K gonna get stunned there, thrown away thanks to the level 16. But Gul'dan getting some corruption damage there as both teams are 16 here now. We do have up the frequency for Lucio, giving him that extra range. Harnock gonna get thrown away, but look at how much damage Lurk Patrol has taken so far. Big Dragon's Arrow onto the Dahaka. I don't know that he has Burrow. It looks like he doesn't. FPS Nate, though, so very low. Rogoth gonna be the one to fall. Greymane going, diving in, using that go for the throat, but not able to get the kill. So this should be a nice, easy, comfortable coast to a Punisher for Lurk Patrol.
Ektar is actually insane on Lucio. He can just get into everything. Just boot people towards his team so they can kill him, and then he just runs away.
The power of Lucio compels you.
Right? Makes me want to just, like, no life Lucio all the time.
Are you suggesting that Ektar has no life?
No,
not
I'm
very
not
nice of
that
you.
good, and so I've got to practice a lot so I can be
I
even
see.
a fraction as good as Ektar.
I see. Okay. Well, Punisher getting the wall down here. The stun Punisher.
John Cena!
That was a great throw from FPS Nate to land that and then get the stun onto Dahaka using Johanna. I always like to think of the Wrecking Ball talent from Garrosh as kind of like an improvised weapon from D&D, where you're like, you know what? I don't need a club to beat you. I will beat you with your own players. Well, there goes the Blessed Shield. Cooldown's coming out, the Sound Barrier coming out, but so is the Horrify. And Garrosh gonna get taken down. I heard a entomb in there, but I don't see it. Nice pick by Spooky Ghost, so they are going to get this camp. The challenge here is that Spooky Ghost, I don't think has gotten a single protector so far.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, they definitely haven't. So at this point, like the Punisher is a lot of value. They've managed to not really lose too much from the fact that they've not gotten any of those 3 Punishers. They're slightly ahead in kills thanks to that kill on the Garrosh. But that's it. Well's going to go down in the mid lane now. And here comes Dahaka. Doesn't quite get the drag. The Condemn pulling Lurk in. Lurk's going to fall there. Isolation out on Hanzo. Can they catch him? But Ektar is able to keep him healthy and out of danger. Once again here, though, Spooky Ghost tanking the tower shots. So no Garrosh is back, but no Leoric. So value on the staggered death. The Hawk is going to hold that bush to keep an eye on anybody that wants to rotate down into the bottom camp there. And they probably have a good idea that this is where they are, but it doesn't really matter. At this point, Lurk Patrol just wants to get level 20 to set up for the next fight. And Spooky Ghost needs to just be careful of that, right? They're not that far behind, and the next Punisher hasn't been called out. Spooky Ghost saying, let's try to get one more fight in before 20. But at this point, that's over, and now they got to get that 20 themselves.
Yeah, there is a big wave waiting for them up there in the top lane, which will help them get a good chunk of that.
And more on the way. Garrosh following around, and this kind of surprises me. Like, I'm surprised that they would go up there and kill those minions, because that pushes the lane closer to Spooky Ghost, gives them the opportunity then to get that level 20 a little bit sooner and a little bit safer. And Garrosh,
one versus the world?
like,
He's fine.
confirmed inting? Like, is that what's going on here?
Nah. This is wrestling. It's all like made up for the show, right?
Right.
If he just looked like he was in danger.
Alright, so level 20 is coming up. Dahaka's going to get it for him in the middle there. And Spooky Ghost has a Shaman Camp pushing top. Autumn Fort is pretty much just dead, for sure. And this is a Frozen Punisher coming in, looking at bottom keep. Mid lane also has the Siege Camp coming in, so that's a threat to that keep as well. Nano Boost going out onto Gul'dan, so the Punisher already sitting at about half health here. Eric with a K gonna get rooted. Johanna gonna be the one to get thrown. The taunt coming out here. Isolation used. I don't think it hit anybody. It didn't. So Johanna's gonna fall. The Leoric finishing his quest gets the kill onto Dahaka, and this is looking a lot better than the last time Lurk Patrol found themselves at a core.
That it is.
And that's a quad kill now, as the bottom keep is gonna fall, and Lurk Patrol makes their way onto the core. And this time, there's nobody really to stop them. Definitely not now that they threw the Grey Mane in for the extra KDA point. Man, look at how fast Leoric attacks with that auto attack speed bonus. All right, and just like that, our series is evened up. 1-1. No going to bed early tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Thanks, Patrol. I didn't want to sleep anyways.
Right? Gosh, jerks. All right, so I'm gonna show this stuff here real quick, and then I'm gonna put us on the 3-minute and 45-second long Varian versus Ragnaros commercial, because I need to take Alpha out real quick.
It's such a cool commercial.
And hopefully I get back before it's done.
I'll find out 30 seconds later if it's just like going without you.
I mean, it'll just be a black screen.
Oh, okay.
Everybody will be like, what's going on? I guess I could loop it. I could probably do that. Everybody would just like, didn't we just see this? Oh, you know what? And that's... Now we know why they did that in HGC sometimes. Play them back to back like that, because somebody had to take their dog out. Yeah. Anyways, we'll be back in just a moment.
A king has fallen. A father. A friend. A warrior. Defender of the Alliance. He was a beacon of hope. A leader without measure. A man who would never accept defeat. He was our shield against the storm. Wherever he has gone, Varian Rin will remain a hero. Always.
Alright everybody, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I managed to not just get one dog out, I got all three of them out. A little bit winded from running around though.
Was that an Alice of disapproval?
No. Nope, that was totally Al. Alice doesn't have those growls. That would be entirely an Al thing. So I believe, if I remember correctly, that Ace and Ektar said that getting 1 point secured them third place.
I do not remember.
Oh.
Whoop.
Okay.
Wrong first band team.
Looks that way.
It's a real Arthanel move.
Well, at least they know what map they're on.
That's true. Good point.
Well, let's take a look at those maps, shall we? Speaking of maps. Didn't this start? It did start an hour and a half ago, Kime. That is true. We've had some time in between. Started a few minutes late, too. I took off the channel points for the dogs because I didn't want to bother them. They've already been kind of a little bit annoyed, but you know what? One of them's decided to come up here on the desk, so we get a little bit of alpha time anyway. Yay. As it looks like we got our draft ready to go. Hey, let me see. Here.
Immediate Medivh ban.
Makes a lot of sense, especially on Braxis. Being able to portal across those walls is absolutely just bonkers. Now it's the second ban. We're gonna stick with the Maiev ban. So the question is, do we see an ETC ban as well? Or are they gonna ban out the Oriole or the Deathwing? What do you think? What's a bigger threat?
I think you have to ban Ario.
Something to spend your 30k points on, huh?
Yeah.
I clearly need to put high value things up there, and I don't know what to put.
I am currently sitting at 31,660. And that's with many dog times redeemed already. Moment of truth.
Clearly I need to just update the costs of the doggo times.
How much is it to get you out in your murky suit? Oh.
Is that a strategic ban? We'll never know because we can't see chat.
Aero. That was the flaw in this point. We can't see the chat. We don't know what's happening.
Could be strategic, because that leaves both up.
That's true. And that's the best Ariel skin too. Nicely done, Ektar.
Harnik, Ektar. Okay.
So we'll find out here if it was strategic or not. They have not yet locked Deathwing, so
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. It was a mistake. ETC was banned in chat, and we're honoring it. Okay, fair enough. Thanks, Ektar. All right, so flipping on to the Murden and a Chromie. So Murden's gonna give him an additional stun. And then Chromie, oh man, Chromie sets up a lot with Temporal Loop. Although she does have the capability on this map especially to go into that slowing sands. But a Temporal Loop with an Oriole to whip or a Murden to Stormbolt, like, so many ways that just works.
Yeah, for sure.
P.S. Sorry I wasn't able to get a Lily game for you. That comes from Ektar.
You know what, Ektar? You're forgiven because you were showing me the potential of Lucio. So I'll allow it.
Alright, Malthael gonna be the third and final ban here for Lurk Patrol. Currently sitting 1-1 between these two teams, Spooky Ghosts and Lurk Patrol. Spooky Ghosts start off a really strong game number 1 there. And game number 2 was pretty balanced in the team fights, but most of the macro seemed to go over to Lurk Patrol. But Alarak switching teams, now going to be playing for the Spooky Ghosts.
Total Alarak move. You can't trust him, Aero. Mostly I don't like Alarak because all he does is insult the healer the entire game.
Oh. So Deathwing making it all the way over to the very last pick for Lurk Patrol.
Surprise!
And gonna be Urel the last pick. So all right. So I mean there's a fair bit of poke damage between Gul'dan and Alarak. Urel can do armor reduction at 16, and she can just kind of chain stomp onto Deathwing. I'm not sure though, like I don't think that Night Terrors works from Ana on Deathwing, because I think you actually have to put them to sleep. So I don't think they have anything that's specifically percent based. Well, that's not true. Urel can, but again, that's at 16. So it's really just about the poke damage and eventually pushing Deathwing out of the fight. And I mean, at this point, I'm assuming Deathwing's in the 4-man because we've got the Artanis.
Right. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out, though.
Indeed, we shall. Well, Lulu, take it away.
Good luck, have memes in the chat. For Lurk Patrol, we've got Ektar on the Ariel, Gunny on Deathwing, FPS Nate on Muradin, Harnock on Artanis, and Ace on the Chromie.
All right, and for Spooky Ghosts, Urel going to be played by Eric with a K. We've got Boundrix playing the Alarak, Rogoth on the Johanna, Little Wolf on the Ana, and Colidus on Gul'dan. And it is going to be Deathwing in the 4-man, Urel versus Artanis up there in the top. And we have Draconic Might for the Deathwing, giving him that extra damage on his auto attacks, but also giving him the extra healing when he auto attacks, but also giving him the protected status. Currently in World Breaker form, so he's going to have some more zoning potential with that Lava Burst, which slows. And then the Earth Shatter, which does that stun from Sundering-like effect. It is Div B Regen Jesus. Isn't that in the... Oh, no, I guess I didn't put it in the stream title. My bad. Harnock up top here versus Eric with a K, and it's all about the Urel at this point. And I think eventually that Artanis does catch up on that a little bit, but at least for right now, Urel doing some stomping, quite literally. But down in the bot lane, it's going to be some Chromie bombs along with some Detainment Strike whips. Yeah, Rodney, I think it depends on what you're up against. There's certainly some heroes that I like it better against. Like Tychus is one that I think that Protected is really good for. Other heroes less so, like the Gul'dan, I don't think it gets quite as much value. Trying to get onto this point. Currently, both points in opposite control. The bottom lane picked up by Lurk Patrol. Very difficult for Spooky Ghost to get in on that while there's a Murden and a dragon down here. I guess technically 2 dragons.
Oh, yeah. I did think about that for a second.
But Urel's able to hold the top lane pretty effectively here as well, so... Now, this is the time for Spooky Ghost to try to make something happen, because Deathwing's up in the air. But so far, they haven't been able to really push in on this. Deathwing now up in the top lane, gonna help out versus this Urel, pick up the control point in favor now of Lurk Patrol. Couple of stuns there, well coordinated onto 2 different heroes. Nice pull, but not quite able to land that silence from the Alarak as well. Let's take a look at the talents here, as Alarak hasn't picked his level 4 yet. Johanna getting stunned by Deathwing, but she's going to go ahead and pop that Unstoppable. Does not want to give up this point, as they don't have control of top at this point. And Urel focusing a little bit more on getting the lane rather than on the point. Now going to try to do so versus this Artanis, and he's pretty low, but so is she. And so they're back on looking for the bottom control point, as 60% mark has been passed. At some point, they're going to have to just accept that this is gone and get their Gul'dan up top so that they can clear that wave. But this is not that point, as Urel is able to eventually convert that over from the Artanis.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard for Spooky Ghost to get this point, hold it. I say as Johanna just walks over there for free. Well, ignore what I was about to say.
Yeah, Artanis picked up the top half though, so Condemn coming out did pull the Oriole and Murden together, but again, it's very difficult for them to get these kills, and with the Oriole, she's able to heal up the damage coming in pretty significantly.
Can't heal the Deathwing though, and he only almost dies. Everything is fine.
Yeah, and there's no way to keep him from going up in the air, and having used his healing well there just before he goes up in the air, that's going to give him the opportunity to come back down very quickly, along with having those plates regenerate. So he'll have the extra armor coming back down. He's nearly at full now, and he was almost dead before he went up. Deathwing coming down, looking for that Ana perhaps, but not quite. Also, Deathwing going into the Firestorm, so he's going to be able to land... when he lands on heroes, he's going to be able to have his cooldown reduced very quickly for his flight, so he can go back up into the air very quickly if he lands on hero. And now the previously mentioned rotation up, Murden trying to stall out that rotation a bit.
Oh, Deathwing Fire Breath just melting the Zerg wave in the bottom.
Yeah. Makes
I hadn't
sense.
thought about that cheese.
Alright, swap onto Johanna, but it doesn't matter. He's going to get pulled in, but they're not quite able to get that kill. The Tainment Strike quest completed already.
Ektar's been whipping people all over the place.
That is true. Gul'dan getting a lot of damage onto these Guardians, so those will go down. Those don't have that much health, surprisingly, so if you can get the damage onto them, you can save yourself a lot of structure damage as well.
Murden's got no mana. He's fine.
Let me update the thing here. Well, that figures. I was showing bot lane for a bit.
Rookie mistake, Aero.
Yeah, sorry guys. I'm trying to show the solo lane a little bit so we can see how they're doing. But hey, first blood going over to the side of Spooky Ghosts. And here comes the temporal loop looking for that stun. But Cataclysm coming out. Johanna getting stunned and stunned again. Is able to get the Iron Skin. Looking for the kill onto the Murd, and they are able to get that. What comes next for Spooky Ghosts? Right now it's a half health Deathwing. But that staggered death is putting them in a good spot here, allowing them to clear the lane. Again, in the bot lane here, Yrel versus Artanis. And for the most part, again, that seems to be favoring the Yrel. As long as this control point isn't up and she doesn't have to go back. Oh, Johanna eating absolutely every hit of the Dragon's Breath. The Animu's going out on a Gul'dan too, and not entirely certain why. Johanna just barely juking out of the Stormbolt there as well. And Chromie shooting into that minion, managed to take that out very quickly. Not, I think, the original intended target, but it worked out. And with Johanna having to go back, top fort's looking pretty well free.
Yeah. And they've got a big old dragon there to help them siege, except they're not gonna finish the fort, so just kidding.
Now, speaking of that big old dragon, he does have Bellowing Roar, so these control point fights can turn into a really dangerous place for Spooky Ghosts. Speaking of which, here comes the Cataclysm. Looking for that roar. Here it comes. Gets the Ana and Gul'dan. Although Johanna's going to be mostly fine. Probably has Unstoppable? Yeah. Oh, but Gul'dan wanted to go in on it.
Oh no.
Not sure if they can get... Can they get the kill? They do. But Johanna, very low here, is trying to make it away from the Murd and is going to be able to back out. But the channel over 50% so far for Lurk Patrol as Gul'dan trying to kill the Murd. There we go. But Artanis...
Oh. Aero, why didn't you go to the bot lane?
Well, I did. It was just a little bit late. Oh, here comes Murden, because Resurrect is a thing. But if they can get the kill onto Chromie, that'll be very much worth it. Time Trap coming out. Able to just barely time that. The Sandblast. That double Sandblast obliterated Gul'dan.
She is a time dragon.
And the channel once again starting for Lurk Patrol. This Zerg wave will go into the bot lane. And it's going to be a little bit before Gul'dan's here. So he might have a little bit harder time clearing this Zerg wave than he did the last one, as it'll already be up here.
Oh, Artanis could be in trouble. I jumped Zerg, he's fine.
I guess, nope, she didn't have Ardent Defender up. So there you go. And she has no way to Unstoppable until level 20. Nice Detainment Strike onto the Johanna there. Artanis looking, gets pulled in thanks to the Iron Skin. But this fort is toast. Do we have Deathwing up here again? We do. He's doing just fine. Just fine up there. Oh, okay. Level 13's up for Lurk Patrol as well, so they've got all the advantage here. Although this is a 4v5 in the bot lane. Deathwing is up in the air now, though, so he'll be back and available soon. Oriole gonna get taken out. Resurrect is available. So the question is, are they gonna pay attention? Because she's in a position where she would take some tower shots.
Yeah, it looks like they're opting to just not use the res cooldown.
It does. Now, the real question is, does that turn out to be a problem for them? Well, not if they get a 4-man Bellowing Roar.
I mean, it definitely helps a bit. Oh, except
he's fine.
barely. There's a lot of dot damage coming out from Gul'dan there.
Yeah, one more tick of something, or one more hit, and Murden probably was toast there, but he's fine. So what did she take it? She took the multiple traps, right? She did, yeah. All right, well, pressure starting to mount in the top lane. Spooky Ghost having to head back and deal with that. They've so far lost both of their forts, and this is a little bit of the same kind of thing we saw in game number 2, where, you know, they're winning team fights, but they're not winning the structures here. Murden is probably going to have to jump out soon. They've got the Deathwing, so there goes the fear. They get the Alarak kill because of it. Temporal Loop coming out onto Ana, and as I was just saying, they were winning team fights right up until the point that they committed to everybody standing on the point, or near the point. And they're kind of lucky that Lurk Patrol didn't just go, like, boss.
Yeah.
Although they don't... they do have Artanis. Because I think boss here would have killed a keep as well. At least likely. But it also would have set them up for the Zerg as well. And I expect they're going to pull back at this point. They've been able to get both of the other Zerg waves. So at this point, Lurk Patrol can take a step back. Their Zerg waves going into the top keep as opposed to the fort, so... Sorry, as opposed to the core.
Yes.
Ugh. I just had to yawn, and Alpha took that time to... Yeah, stick her nose in my mouth. Murden popping the avatar there, getting pulled into the team with that Horrify. Is going to have to bail out, though. The double pull onto Ektar. And now Ariel's sitting in a sea of blue shirts. Are they going to guard this? They're not. And she's coming back. So, round 2, fight. Big Dragon's Breath coming out. And that's going to be Alarak going down here. Johanna getting swapped into the laser. What? Gul'dan gonna go down, Ana go down. I think this is their way to get to the core right now. But I want to point out that swap was... That was a crazy swap.
It really was.
The laser was on, I think, Alarak when he died. And then he was able to swap her into the laser. Just crazy.
I think you jinxed Spooky Ghosts there. You talked about them winning team fights, and then they stopped winning team fights.
Yes, it is entirely my fault. Lurk Patrol now has the Zerg wave coming in. They're going to go ahead and back out. They don't have the greatest clear on the core, but if that Zerg wave gets through that top keep, it's going to be a tough trip for Spooky Ghosts.
Yeah, and they're still missing their 16s.
Yeah, well, if Yrel gets swapped into the team here, that's one way to do it. Big Horrify, though.
Oh.
Can they... Oh no. Gul'dan.
Big bellowing roar.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Rogoth gonna be the next to fall here. We heard Artanis' beam, but it didn't quite get to land because the target was dead. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lurk Patrol coming back, able to catch themselves a 2-1 victory over Spooky Ghosts. Wow, B West has a lot of their matches done too. You'd love to see it. All right, let's head over to the NGS chat.
Oh.
Gunny, are you our interviewee tonight?
I am.
Alrighty, well, welcome to the interview chat. And did you just out of curiosity, because you're in the coin toss, did you just stay in this channel the whole time?
No, I just moved over here.
Okay,
I didn't know
gotcha.
what lobby you wanted me on, and this seemed convenient.
Sure, it works. So congratulations on your victory there. So I heard at the beginning that this secures you guys, because you got 2 points but not 3, that it secures you 3rd place?
I don't know.
All right, well, fair enough. These things don't matter, right?
We're going to be on the same side of the bracket regardless. So.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, whether you're 2nd or 3rd, you're going to be playing against ultimately the same people at some point.
Yeah. For us, it's be as far away from you or not alone as physically possible.
Yeah, so I it hadn't occurred to me when I pulled up the standings. It showed them at 33 points, and I was like, "Oh, that's clearly a mistake." And then I was like, "No, that's right. That's actually accurate." Yeah, that's
Team's
crazy.
Good. Team's good.
They're a little okay, turns out.
Yeah, they're kind of like Deathwing, moderately balanced.
Right. So how did you guys start this out? So obviously there were some roster changes going into game 2 and 3. We had high def in game number 1. How did you guys start this out? And ultimately, what adjustments did you make to make sure that you won game 2 and 3?
We said no more Medivh, please, because that was rough. Medivh, respect to that player, man, he kicked our teeth in game 1. So we banned out Medivh. We focused on what we did good game 1. We did more of that game 2, and we adjusted to more comforts. We got Hanzo because they took our Hanzo. We were actually looking to pick that up, and that got sniped. So having that comfort helped us control the fights a little bit better, and not having Medivh let our damage stick a lot better and secured those kills that were important to that victory. But mad credit to that Medivh. He kicked our teeth in real good.
Yeah, I've seen Eric with a K play Medivh a few times, and I've seen it get banned out immediately after. So every time,
rightfully so.
Yeah. So you guys get into game number 2. We go to Infernal Shrines, and a lot of the game, really both games 2 and 3, it felt to me as though they were still winning team fights, maybe just slightly more. I think ultimately
that's how I felt.
Yeah, they were winning team fights slightly more, but you guys were winning all of the macro. You got every single Punisher, rather, and ultimately were ahead of that game. Is that what you attribute? You mentioned do the things that you were doing right in the first game and carry them on. Is that what you were talking about?
Absolutely. I mean, we took the first keep in game 1. Like we were winning that macro game, but we were losing almost every team fight. So we were recognizing, hey, this team's a little bit more lax on their macro and their camp timings. So if we focus on good wave clear, which was why we drafted Hanzo and KT, good camp timings, which will give us off mid-objective push or force them off the objective, which defaults the objective to us without a fight, and focus on getting the most value we can out of our objectives, that can put us in a position where it's very difficult for us to lose. And then we just needed to get the 1 or 2 fights to go our way so that we could close it out.
And you guys specifically opted for map pick after game number 1, which is not often the case for the current meta with the Oriole and Deathwing. Did you just feel like, hey, we just have to take a comfort map to make sure that we get this win? Or
our strategy was to beat them with superior macro, which we needed a good map where we were confident we could accomplish that strategy. So the map is more important to us than any one hero.
Gotcha.
Which I know is going to make my tank mains cry because he didn't get to play one of his favorite tanks today, but that's how it went.
True. So also have to point out, as Seventh Ace brought up in the chat there, speaking of any one hero, Convection KT. So as a Kael'thas player yourself, how much did you cringe at that?
I real talk, I love Convection. I will take it if I don't respect my opponents. And it's not to say that Nick didn't respect his opponents, but it was the right call in that situation. And hey, as Hanzo, I did not have a level 1 talent. I never hit Ana once with a Q that game, so my level 1 talent did nothing. So I can't really talk about do nothing level 1s.
until late in the game, I was like, I should go check to see who he's missing, and then something would happen, so I didn't get a chance to see who. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. So.
I didn't hit Ana once that game. Her positioning was flawless, and I nearly got myself killed trying to hit her like 3 different times.
Nice. Well, and then you guys get map number 3. You go to Brax's Holdout, which was theirs, their pick, right? And so that one looked. The top lane was a little bit in favor, I think, of Urel for most of that. Although eventually Artanis did get a kill when you guys got a kill and they got a kill and all that stuff. But so what was it that you attribute to being able to be successful? Like, again, the team fights started off in their favor right up until the point where literally I said, hey, the team fights are in their favor. And then you guys fight over their siege camp, and then that's like just the end of the game, basically, even though it went on for another 5 minutes.
Shout out to our tank player for making that play, because we didn't see that at all, and then he was already, I am staying on this button, you need to fly to me right now. And that was a huge point in the game. I contribute that last game to the fact that we got both Ariel and Deathwing. Real honest, those heroes are the best 2 right now, and we got both of them. We played it really well, we knew what we wanted to do, but we had an oppressive amount of poke out, a manaless healer, and one of the highest win rate heroes in the game. So, that's kind of just a perfect storm to really make 2 even teams have or give one a huge advantage.
Not only that, but that the power of Resurrect. Like, sometimes it's just whatever. Okay, we get a res, so we don't have to wait for a minute for a hero to return. But that last fight over that bottom control point, that Resurrect made all the difference in the world, because it turned that from a 5v4 to an even fight when they didn't have cooldowns, and ultimately you guys win that fight, you win the game.
When you put multiple ults into a tank to kill him, and then we just nullify that with a single ult, or we make a sacrifice the tank play to steal a point, and then undo the sacrifice the tank part of that play, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Lulu, what questions do you have for Gunny?
I don't know that I do. That is what it looked like when the Muradin charged into that last siege camp. Like, he was there. He was going to stay there no matter what. And, worst comes to worst, Ariel just reses him, right?
Yeah. Well, he knew I had Cataclysm up, so I could get there almost instantly. So he had a really good presence of mind to keep an eye on everyone else's cooldowns and make that play. That was smart.
Very nice.
So, Lulu, you're not going to ask him what kind of sheep he prefers?
That's true.
Which sounds really awkward if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just don't own either sword or shield, so I can't really comment.
Well, you don't have to own either of the games. Just which do you like better, Marie or Hulu?
Well, see, here's the other weird thing. Because I don't own the games, I'm actively avoiding any footage of the game, so when I do eventually pick it up, I can enjoy it without too many spoilers. So I haven't even looked at the character model for Wooloo.
You've got Ektar on your team, and you haven't looked at the character model for Wooloo?
Yeah, pretty much. I know, right? It's funny.
So the only one you know of is Mareep, so clearly that's got to be your favorite, because that's the only one exists.
I feel like I'm being pigeonholed to go against my support man, and that's a bad idea for me. So I'm going to choose to be abstaining from the vote.
That is a very intelligent answer. As a support main, very smart of you. I'll allow it. Fair
enough. All right, then. So, Gunny, last question for you. Was there any particular moment tonight that was a highlight moment that you, want to particularly call attention to, whether it was something you did, your opponents did, or your team did?
Nate diving that camp. And the follow-up play that my team executed, we used our ults in very good sequential. And we managed to both get the camp, get picks, and I really think it secured that last game. That was amazing. Personally, landing a 4-man fear with Deathwing feels awesome, but as a team, I love that fight.
Sure. Good deal. All right, well, any shoutouts?
Well, I got to give shoutouts to all the casters who are here, and especially you guys for picking up the game at the 11th hour. I really appreciate it.
Literally the 11th hour?
Yeah, literally.
East Coast. Sorry,
Also give good shout outs to my Lurk Patrol team members that weren't able to play tonight, Bickle and High Def for games 2 and 3. I appreciate them. and Spooky Ghost. They played an amazing series, and I look forward to seeing them in the playoffs.
Good deal. Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight, Gunny, and good luck with the, I guess, the playoffs, because you're all done with your season now.
Yep. We scheduled our flex matches.
A+.
Proud of you.
Love to hear it. Good deal. All right. Well, hey, listen, have a great night, and thanks again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Alrighty. So that is going to be it for us tonight. So, Lulu, anything you want to say out there to Twitch Night?
Thanks everybody that was here chatting with us in the chat. Even if it was mostly people that were in the match. Don't know why you're here. You should be playing the game. And yeah, Mareep is still the superior sheep Pokemon. That's it.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks again for joining us here as we caught the Lurk Patrol versus Spooky Ghosts 2-1 in favor of Lurk Patrol, working on their quest for the 2nd seed in Division B West, and it'll all depend on how things go for Phoenix Rising on their next game. So have a wonderful night, and we will catch you guys soon.